right there. Nothing to it but to do it. Don't overcomplicate things. Just get her done. Just slap this sucker together. Get a nice little arch in there. Good. Let's see, we go just like that. Good. So here's a close-up of how this works. Water goes through here before the pressure regulator out to your sprinkler systems. This obviously would stay in the off position. When you're done with the sprinkle season, shut it off. And then you have to drain this water out so it doesn't freeze. Open this up into a bucket. Maybe you got a short little hose. You don't need to drain it all the way down because it's inside the house. But you want to get this away from the rim joist and out of your backflow preventer. This is how it's going to sit all winter long. Springtime, turn it back on, and then go fix all the leaks that somehow miraculously appeared throughout the winter. Quite a bit of water should come out of here. Although the water's off and I've got it draining, it's going to make a little bit of a mess. Keep in mind there's water all up in through here. Get that in. Go. Ring goes on. There. Okay, the whole house is powered up. Now I got to turn the water on here. This is going to repressurize the sprinkler systems. There we go. We're all set. I do have to block this up and get some straps on this. The one thing I've got to determine is just how uneven these joists are. As they rest on that load-bearing wall, some of them are shimmed up a heavy 1/4 of an inch. It's very interesting. This one has shims all along it. This one here has a 1/4 inch shim the whole length. I did grab my track saw just to get a long straight edge to get an idea. So industry standard is 1/4 inch within 4 feet. And I had to sell that a lot when I was building houses, because that's just so this one is low. This shim here is low. This one's perfect. As I was saying, the realities of the price point of production home building, not a custom home. It's not too bad. I gotta check this one over here. There's also all these wires that are hanging down from the drop ceiling. Two generations of ceiling. One was nailed to the joist, then however many decades later, there was a drop ceiling installed. If you go back, you can watch my demolition video. Give you an idea of some of the things I'm dealing with. Shim. Things like this are things you don't always anticipate. Why is there 2 of these shims stacked up on there? Well, I'm going to rip it all off and going to get all these things either hammered or pulled. I'm just getting ready to head on down to Lowe's. I thought I'd show you my mobile office. A lot of you know that I do more than just repair and remodel houses. I get between 15 and 20 requests for work every single day. They all come in through my Gmail account. If I don't respond to those in a timely manner, I lose the job. How I power all this is through the Anker Solex C1000. I can plug in my battery chargers. This here is a 100 watt hour battery. The C1000 is just over 1,000 watt hours. So just a little over a full kilowatt of storage. It's got 6 120 volt receptacles, 100 watt output, and a 30 watt output. So this would be for a fast charging cell phone, and this is for most modern laptops. This here looks different than the rest. This is their surge pad. This is a 20 amp outlet. Got your car socket there. If you wanted to run a refrigerator, which I often do, I power it right through here. This is your charging port. This is where you plug it into the wall at home. This is where you can plug it in to either your cigarette lighter or your solar panel. Get a good close at those specs right there. This is probably one of the coolest options, is you can expand this battery. Plug in another battery right there. So we're in the bed of my pickup truck. I've got onboard air. I have a Porter cable air compressor in here. This little box here will run power tools. Just reach inside here, and right now it's showing 887 watts of use. This is the Anker Solex C1000. Link will be in the description. It's time to insulate. We're gonna kick it old school with this insulation job. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. You'll probably notice that I'm wearing gloves. There's several reasons I don't wear gloves. The number one reason is I use a camera all the time, and gloves just do not work for hitting buttons, turning on and off microphones, plugging them in, adjusting the screen. These work with a touch screen. You can see, you've probably seen this style before. These are made by Armor Guys. These are the extra larges. Perfect length. And I just turned the camera on and it was wonderful. There'll be a link in the description. I'll let you know how they work out at the end of this video. This is a basement, obviously. These are 2x4 walls. We do have a good bit of space between the 2x4 and the actual wall. Since we're being extra safe today with our hands, I thought I'd try to be extra safe with my lungs. I'll throw this, what are these? These are Milwaukee or something like that. I think these are Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Woo! Program Milwaukee.
Oh boy, you guys crack me up. It's upside down. Nose pincher. All right.
Shove them in there, Handy. Shove them in, shove it in.
I'm saving all these offcuts here to go up into there. I'll talk more about that once I get back down to where the water pipes go in and out of the house. There's some precautions I got to take now that I'm going to be fully insulating it up, and I eliminated that closet. That closet used to be a source of heat to rise up into those different cavities to make sure those pipes didn't freeze. Now that I'm sealing it all up, got to make sure it's insulated properly. All right, not too bad. The only thing I got to deal with is this big space right here. Woo! Whew, almost fell over. Almost went down. This one over here, I believe, is the spigot for the outside faucet. This one here is the sprinkler line. Let's make sure. Sprinkler line is going to be drained in the wintertime. If I drain all that water down to about here or something. But the faucet, there is no shut off for that faucet. Probably could put one in. So from here over, it's susceptible to freezing. And this is where I got to pay extra attention to how it's insulated. I got to get my head up in there and check out the rim joist, looking for gaps. If there is a very, very cold spell, -10 to -20, as a homeowner, you should know those are extreme conditions and you better take some precautions. So there's going to be a door right here to access this sprinkler clock. You better open that door up. And down there to do the shutoffs, you better open that up. You're going to be opening up the cabinets of vanities that are on exterior walls. You may start running your faucets so that they drip a little bit overnight. But once you get over there, or maybe even right here, it's a different story. Different story altogether. Keep in mind, grade is like here. So there's no dirt behind here. So this foundation wall from here up, that's exposed to the outside. That could get very, very cold. So making sure these penetrations through the house are caulked is also very important. A lot of times it's not the insulation, it's when a gap opens up and you have the right amount of breeze or wind blowing at that gap that will cause your pipe to freeze. You have to try to make sure your insulation isn't smashed down. It's the air spaces in between all that fiberglass insulation that does the insulating. There's a good chance I pull this out and put some pipe insulation because I do not want the pipes basically clamped between the insulation and this frozen wall. Like I said, from here up is above grade. Maybe I'll start at the bottom, work my way up to here, and then do some pipe insulation here. Maybe put some foam board behind it. Not quite sure yet. I gotta figure it out fast because I start drywall today. Of course, this area is all below grade and heavily insulated by the earth. Really don't need insulation down here, but we're putting it in anyway. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but there is a pipe coming through the wall. Let's see here. Windows are here. Grade is about here. It's about 14 inches below grade. That's definitely not an old water in, but it could be an old water out for an old abandoned sprinkler system. Looks like it's galvanized pipe. I'm going to pop this cap off. Hopefully, I don't know, understand how this could be. Hopefully no water shoots out at me. All right. It's about hand tight now. No rust, no corrosion at all. So I thought I'd get ahead of the game and get the drywall for the ceiling while I'm getting pipe insulation. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to run these sheets of drywall. Do I do a 4x8 here, 4x8 here, and then something here, and then switch to go in this direction, or vice versa? That's not going to work. That's going to put us a little over. So we would have to rip something off this side here. Mark it with some spit. And 4 foot comes to right here. And then we would have a strip, 20-inch strip. Let's see, this goofy post here. How far out is that? Is that 8 feet? Am I going to have to do some funky notching?
Funky notching!
I got to actually block around that. So that's 88 inches. Here we go. Oh, oh. Oh, come on. Get around. There we go.
Woo!
That is a long distance to carry drywall. My right arm's gonna be longer than my left. So I start in the driveway, unload out of the truck, through the garage, out to the backyard. Can't just get on the deck. I gotta go all the way out in the backyard, do a little loop, get pointed in the right direction, down the wraparound deck, into the kitchen, navigate through the kitchen to the stairwell, down the stairwell, through the basement, to the back bedroom. I got one more sheet to bring in, and then I'm done for the night. As you can see, it's starting to get dark out, and I gotta go back to rent a drywall lift. Yep, you heard it. For 5 sheets, I'm gonna rent a helper for the day. The gloves, they're almost too good. You know those guys that when they're walking into the contractor entrance at Lowe's, they start gloving up like they're gonna go do some work? Well, that was me, and I never do that. It didn't take long for them to kind of break in, form to my hands. Again, I'll put a link in the description. Time will tell. Will I give up my cuts and calluses and fully go down that road? Biggest benefit was being able to use my phone. Even in my truck, I wore them. I was wearing these to load them in my truck. Get in my truck, I'm still wearing. Next thing you know, I'm driving down the road with these still on. I can use this. Think I took it a little too far. Let me know what your suggestion is for insulating those pipes. Have you ever had pipes froze? I am the go-to guy when pipes freeze. My phone rings off the hook. So I'm very familiar with what causes pipes to freeze. That's why I'm kind of making this a big deal. I'll show you in the next video, before the drywall goes up on the walls and the ceiling, what I did to make sure those pipes don't freeze. Make sure you check the links in the description. Get your mobile office set up with that Anchor Solex C1000. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.